Alright, Shalom. This is Brother Gabar at the Lions Den Camp, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. First and foremost, before I hop into this lesson, I would like to give all praises to the Most High in the true Paleo-Hebrew names and in the Paleo-Hebrew tongue. So with that, I would like to say, Kal Halayim, Le Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Bahashim, Ha Rakah Kodash Ma'amaf. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder as well, Aharawam Bon Yasharallah. And Shalom to you brothers and sisters, pushing and keeping this truth and faith and sincerity into the end, man. Alright, so this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, starting in verse 9. It says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?" Alright, so and that heart also goes into the mind, because those are things, fleshly things, that comes from the earth, just like these bodies, man. So, and you know what I'm saying, this flesh, this body, want to return unto the dirt, man, the earth. Meanwhile, the spirit that's within you, wants to be with the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. So that's where that warring comes into place, where's the spirit versus the flesh. But we know that the spirit is stronger, man. The spirit of truth, the spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, is ultimately stronger than the flesh. All right, but it says the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? And again, that heart being the mind. And the point of this lesson is, man, trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, in His Word. The things written in these scriptures that was written for our learning. Trust in those things rather than your own heart and mind and feelings and emotions and thoughts, man. Trust in the Lord's Word, knowing that His Word is true, and nothing in His book shall come back unto Him void. All right. So it says the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? All right, and the only one that's truly going to be able to know a man's mind or heart or spirit is the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, man. All right, and in verse 10 it says, "I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings," man. All right, so it's the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, trying the hearts and minds, but ultimately the spirit, of a man, of a person, man. Those that's striving after Him, man. It's ultimately the Lord who's gonna try those reins, man. Ultimately to see what manner of person you are, man. Whether you be righteous or whether you be wicked. All right, and I just wanted to get into some etymology on that word reins, right? And it says, a few things, but the main thing here is figuratively the mind as the interior self. Right, and the interior self to these bodies, man, is the spirit, because this body is a vessel, but the interior, right, is the spirit, man. All right, so it's ultimately the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, trying the reins, the spirit, the mind, of an individual, man, his spirit, again, to ultimately to see what manner of person he shall be, and then you're going to base definition of the word rein. Ultimately this is something used amongst horses and other animals, in a carnal sense. But just looking at it spiritually, right? This is a definition of rein. All right, it says to control or direct with, all right, to check or stop by, or as if by a pull at the reins, to stop or slow up one's horse or oneself by, or as if by pulling the reins, to submit to the use of reins. All right, so ultimately it's the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah testing and trying the reins of a man's heart, mind, and ultimately his spirit, to control and direct, with the purpose of ultimately causing that individual, I'll use this analogy. So just like a farmhand, he will hop on top of a wild horse, right? And try the reins of that horse, man. That horse is going to, because it's a wild horse, so that horse is going to buck, is going to sneer, is going to try to get him up off, right? But ultimately, if it's meant, that farmhand is ultimately going to control that horse until submission, submission to the will of that farmhand, man. And in that analogy, the farmhand would be the Lord, and the horse would be a person, a man, a woman, somebody seeking after the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. So ultimately, the trying of those reins, man, is ultimately to see if you're going to submit to the righteousness of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, and the spirit of truth, this knowledge, this wisdom, this doctrine in totality, or if you're going to continue to buck, man, and be wild and snare and veer off. All right, and again, reverting back to that analogy, if that horse continue to buck and snare and veer off, is ultimately going to become useless to that farmhand, man. You know, it's going to be sold off. It's going to be cast away. You know, it's going to be done away with. Same thing spiritually, man. If a person continue to buck and rebel and you know, buck up at the you know, the spirit of righteousness, man, this truth, this knowledge and wisdom and understanding, and so on and so forth, man, ultimately they're going to be treated the same as that wild horse, you know, that continue to buck. All right, it's going to be unprofitable. You know, you can't really do nothing with it, you know. So that leads me to the next precept. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55. I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, "For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." All right, so again, going back to that analogy, man, the farmhand, his thoughts and his ways are higher than that horse, man. That horse's level of thinking, so on and so forth. Same thing in this truth through the spirit, man. The Lord's ways are higher than our ways, man. All right, his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. So that's why we should trust the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua and his word, all right, rather than our own thoughts and our own feelings and emotions and so on and so forth. It says, "For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void," man. So none of the Lord's words is going to return unto him void, man. All right. So, man, that's why you should trust the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right, with all your heart, you know, rather than leaning on your own thoughts, man, and your own mind and your heart, you know, because that's desperately wicked, man. You know, you want to trust the Lord's words, knowing that his righteous is true, and it shall not return unto him void. All right, it says, "But it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it," man. All right, so ultimately the Lord's his spirit, you know what I'm saying, his word is going to accomplish that which it pleases, man, within a man, within a person. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's will is going to be done, all right, regardless of what you think or what you feel. And it says, "And it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it," man. So ultimately the Lord's word and his spirit prospering within the person is that person submitting, man, unto the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, submitting unto the righteousness of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, submitting unto the law, statutes, and commandments, submitting unto the doctrine and totality, you know, submitting unto those true names, submitting unto that true knowledge and wisdom, man, the ways of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, just like going back to the analogy, the horse, you know, ultimately, you know, that if it's meant, you know what I'm saying, the will of that farmhand, you know, which is ultimately to make that horse submit, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be accomplished. Or if it's meant and intended for that horse to submit, you know what I'm saying, if not, it's going to continue to buck and snare off and so on and so forth, man. You know, but the main point was just, man, trusting the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and knowing that he is in control, knowing that he is guiding the reins, all right, knowing that he is doing the testing and the trying and the proving, and so on and so forth, man. You know, trusting that wholeheartedly, and also trusting the Lord's word, you know, knowing that the Lord is going to keep his promises, man, you know. But within that, you know, we got to do everything we can to aid in that process, man, in that submission, man, you know, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, you know, believing, understanding, and standing on the true names of our Lord Yahweh being the Father and Yahushua being his Son, you know, teaching, preaching, prophesying, you know, continuing in the work and faith and in sincerity, man, all right, and standing on those things, man, firmly, you know what I'm saying, without wavering, all right. That'll help aid in the process, man, you know, that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is, you know, ultimately in control of, if that's truly what you desire, man, you know what I'm saying. So man, I ain't gonna say too much, With that, I pray and hope that the lesson was edifying and or encouraging. And with that, I'm gonna say shalom.